Johnny here for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. So we're gonna have a huge Don't Be Fooled section today. So we're gonna be talking about the Ford Maverick. We're gonna be talking about upcoming electric vehicles out of Ford, Honda, GM. So that's gonna be interesting. And of course, we'll also cover, part of the Don't Be Fooled section is gonna be kind of like BS busters, we could call it. So we're going to be talking about things that have passed, especially one thing that's passed in the media lately that really gives you the wrong impression of what's going on with the F-150 Lightning. So let's just put the pedal to the metal and just get right to it. So let's start with the Ford Maverick content. Well, I think a lot of us are going to be disappointed. Soon we're going to be finding out about Maverick 2022 orders. And actually, we should say 2021 orders, because a lot of these Mavericks will have been ordered in 2021 and they're going to carry over and become converted to 2023's. Now, if you want to know what this means for you, please do watch my price protection videos, because it's going to talk all about that I've done in the past. Talked about it several times. I've got 3-4 price protection videos. But the most recent one does talk about, what happens if you ordered in 2021 versus what happens if you ordered in 2022, what you should expect and fight to get as a price, and promotions and interest rates. So that's going to be all covered, but a lot of us are going to be carryovers, myself included. Pretty certain that locally there's only going to be one more allotment given out, and well, that means that it's going to go to an older hybrid order, so something that's just before mine, because Marie's, hers dates from July 17th, 2021. And it's probably going to get converted and be the first 2023 hybrid built. It has Lux package, and that's really what's held it back. All the microchips required for an XLT Lux package. Now, it has been quite a bit longer than an EcoBoost, being that it's a hybrid, just because, it's all about getting quality batteries into the Maverick. And I speculated this all the way back to, September of 2021. I talked about how it looked like. I highly speculated that the Maverick hybrid was being delayed because Ford wanted quality batteries. Now, I've talked about just recently the plug-in escape and how that was delayed by 1 year. And that was delayed by 1 year. Zero North American fires, but 7 fires that occurred in Europe in plug-in escapes caused there to be a 1-year delay for the plug-in escape in our market. Now, fires in EVs, electrified vehicles, have been pretty common across all manufacturers. Ford has come out actually quite well. There's been some fires, but very few. Like I mentioned with the Escape, 7 in Europe. So the Maverick was most certainly delayed in regards to quality batteries. And now we're seeing, I did a video recently about the Mach-E delivery ban, and that has to do with batteries. I won't go too much into that because I just want to move along with the news this week. Stay on topic and get right to it. We'll talk more about it in the live session that I'll do with Marie, either coming this Thursday night or Friday night. So I'll post in advance to say when we're doing the live session, but that's mostly going to be about answering your questions, especially member questions. So I hope all the members will be there to ask questions. We'll talk more about that. And Tim Bartz, you can even, if you're there, ask questions about the new Expedition, because I'll have test driven the new Expedition, and my brother's been driving it now for a week. He got his Expedition. It took 6 months, and he's very surprised by the suspension. So we'll talk about whether that's a positive or negative surprise, and we'll also talk about his huge surprises in regards to the motor. So we'll get into talking about that Expedition. Tim, if you want to ask questions about it before you get yours, keep your excitement up about it. Let's talk. We'll do that in the next live session where we really answer your questions. So Ford Maverick Lux package on an XLT has caused mid July 17th order, and by the time Ford accepted it, it was more around the 25th. The system says it was accepted and processed the 30th of July, but anywho, that is getting converted almost certainly into a 2023. So brace yourselves. That's what's coming for the Ford Maverick. Now, what else can I say about electric vehicles? Well, really cool. Honda is going to be partnering up with Sony to make electric vehicles. So Sony's hardware, Honda's know-how in regards to building vehicles and selling vehicles. The two are going to partner up. Honda says that by 2030, they want to be producing 20 million EVs annually. And Ford's numbers for EV vehicles, well, we'll get there about 4 years sooner. Also selling about that many EVs, around 2 million EVs by 2026, at least making. And obviously these days, if you make a vehicle, it gets sold, especially if it's an EV. So that's what's going on in regards to EVs. Earlier this year, actually, Honda and GM announced, General Motors, that they would actually share a joint platform. So they're going to be working together to also produce lower cost, not $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 EVs, but like Jim Farley has said, that there's going to be a big, huge competition, almost a war between manufacturers to really, sell EVs in the $40,000 price range. So that is very cool. That is up and coming. So in the live, if you've got questions about, whether you should buy an EV now or wait till later, we can talk all about that. That actually is a subject that interests me quite a bit, and actually you could say I could take it to heart because it's close to home. I'm waiting for my F-150 Lightning. So if you have Lightning questions, show up for that as well. So let's just carry on and conclude the news. Now let's conclude this video with the whole don't be fooled section, or what maybe we should call BS Busters. So BS Busters, a big journal just recently wrote pretty clearly, and I will paraphrase this, or actually a direct quote. They are saying that the trucks, basically, well, first let's recap. They're saying that, it's really horrible that the Ford F-150 Lightning looks like dealers are the ones picking and choosing to force clients to sign a contract if they want their Lightning, that they're forced to keep it for a year. And as they said, they said the trucks are sold out for all but the lucky few that were able to place an early reservation. So there's plenty of demand and motivation to take advantage of people desperate to get behind the wheel. Even so, the practice of markups and limiting what customers can do with a vehicle they paid for is terrible for everyone but dealers. And I can understand that that's their viewpoint, but I feel it's not researched or thought out quite enough. So let's just talk about this really quickly. We'll talk about it more in the live if y'all want. But first of all, I'm not so sure that it's really just dealers that are asking for this. I'm on the Canadian side of things, and we have our dealers get clients to sign sheets that say that they won't export to the US. And that's true for many manufacturers, because American manufacturers don't want to send vehicles up to Canada, lose a bit of money doing that, to just have those vehicles come straight back down to the United States and use up, to kind of take away from the clientele that they would be selling new vehicles to in the States. Now, what's so bad about that? Well, what's really bad about that is that if you allow it, what happens? Businesses, people that, individuals who have a lot of money can just very easily have a whole lot more money by just going in and reserving everything, taking delivery, and just shipping it out. So let's talk about how this applies to if you're in the United States and you're waiting on your F-150 Lightning. If the dealers, the bad dealers, and there are some definite bad dealers, but this isn't a bad dealer practice. This is actually probably encouraged by Ford. If you get clients to sign a sheet saying that they won't resell the vehicle for 1 year, an F-150 Lightning, what this does is it discourages businesses or very wealthy individuals from just, putting reservations, 100 reservations, let's say. And, even if you limit one per person, well, you can, drum up the driver's licenses of many of your cousins, friends, you give them $200-$300 and you say, don't worry, I'm the one paying, I just need your driver's license. Here's $200. And then they would just take up the majority of the production of the Lightning. So what happens? All these businesses and wealthy individuals buy all the Lightnings, and then guess what? then they go back on market. So they buy from the dealer that buys from Ford. So basically it's just, you know, the dealer has their cut, and then you'd have these businesses taking their cut. And it looks like their cut would probably be marking up $20, $30, $40, $50,000, the F-150 Lightning. So having to sign a contract that says you can't resell it as an individual kind of sucks when you're thinking, oh boy, I could get, you know, 50,000 for my Lightning, or even if it's 20,000 more for your Lightning. Well, at a very, you know, individualistic level, yeah, it's frustrating. But when you think about it, you know, community-wide, or, you know, along the whole group, it is avoiding a very negative consequence, which would be that you'd have very few people buying the whole production so that they could then resell it at a huge markup. Putting the 1 year delay increases the risk for those businesses, which help discourage them. So that's what's going on with that. So I did not agree at all with Autoblog on this point. I've seen it, you know, being around dealers, I've seen that, you know, these businesses do come in, they try to buy up a whole lot of production, and well, it's cool because manufacturers have lists and they say, you know, don't sell to these people. If you sell to these people that are, you know, just there to buy and then resell at a bigger markup, if you sell to them, well, you're basically giving them the vehicle. Ford won't. When Ford sells the vehicle to the dealership, basically it's a whole process of here's the vehicle, and, you know, money goes back and forth, but simply put, the dealership loses the money on the vehicle that they took possession of. So very important. Ford is working hard to make sure that, you know, things aren't worse than they already are. And Ford's not the only one. You know, GM doesn't want to sell to what you could call, you know, resellers. Same thing for Honda. So that's that. Just wanted to clarify that. We can talk about it more during the live session. If you have questions, please come with your questions. Marie will be there to help really navigate all the questions coming in. Now, for the live session, we are going to reserve one topic because this video is out of time. So, you know, I want to put the pedal to the metal. So I'm going to keep the last subject for the live. That means we're going to be talking about Ford's future plans for EVs. What is the nearest EV model coming up for us? What we can expect in regards to pricing, as well as what we can expect in regards to quality, and if this means you should wait for an electric vehicle. You know, should you wait maybe 4 years more? Maybe as quick as soon as 2 years? We'll talk all about that, so please do join us for our live session coming up either this Thursday night or this Friday evening. You know, it is going to be, you know, it's the big Canada Day, July 1st, so we're celebrating our nation, so we have to work around that, and I just haven't checked with Marie's final plan, so please do stay tuned. If you do like content, if you like to be up to, you know, really up to speed, really know all the important automobile news, the don't be fooled section and buyer's advice that I really do enjoy providing, please do like and share the content. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, take care.